What if I told you that you are born creative but somehow now you blocked it? From like my relationship with the creativity is like that somehow, that I think that you should be intelligent, you should be talented to be a creative person. And till now, like when I started writing my article and all of these things, I want some creativity because I love to be write creative writing. I was so on that thing. So I want like many time I want that I should clean my creative block that I face in that time on writing my articles and all of that thing. So somehow I think that how can I be creative on my things. So from that I started to read some books, um, and also watch many YouTube videos on creativity and all of that. But I tell you that this two books that I mentioned in the YouTube thumbnail, it is very amazing books. Like the first one is like Creating Brain, and in that Creating Brain, somehow there is a concept of threshold theory. So in that threshold theory, it is about that above a certain threshold, intelligence and creativity are not closely related to one another. So when I read it, then somehow my brain clicks that yeah, you don't have to be talented, you don't have to be intelligent to be a creative person. And from that threshold theory, I want to tell you about many things that I read on both of the books. And the both of books, like, they are so awesome. Like the second one, it is about Leonardo's like brain. And like Da Vinci, he is always an inspiration for me and for everyone, I think. And in that book there are many views of author about Da Vinci's life. So we will gonna see it one by one, and we'll gonna see and talk about the different concept of the creativity. So yeah, stay tuned for that, because I hope and I think you don't hear about all of this thing before. So yeah, let's talk about that. And yeah, being creative is also like that you think that your work, your work, your writing, your thing, your art, that should be unique, that should be different, that should be original, that should be original. So that thing that and it is somehow very difficult for us to be like that, to be very different, very unique, to be original in our art. It is like, for a beginner it is very tough thing. But yeah. So I also have the thoughts about all of this thing when I'm reading both of this book, and they have some many theories about that original work. So we will gonna see some theories, some steps that mention in both of these books. So yeah, first we will talk about the association cortex. Okay. So you are thinking that what is association cortex? So like in a association cortex, it is like a part of our prefrontal cortex and parental lobes that in front of our brain part. So where the association cortex thing was there. And it is a sensory and motor neurons relationship, or the mix of both that things. You would know about the sensitivity, that whatever work you are doing, whatever thing you are creating in your art, in your writing, like in whatever field like that you are in, there is like it is very important to be very sensitive, like to be very sensory in your organs. Like when we are sensitive, we just feel, just that things that comes from our feelings. So that is a very important thing in our creation of anything. And if we talk about the association cortex, it is a neural basis for ordinary creativity, and we all make connection between words and ideas using our association cortex. So हम जितने भी कनेक्शंस बनाते हैं हमारे वर्ड्स में, आइडियाज़ में, ये सब हम लोग जो करते हैं ये इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ एसोसिएशन कॉर्टेक्स. So in the book of creating brain, it is mentioned that association cortex, and she, like Nancy, talked about a lot about brain parts and where creativity happens, like how they all mix up, she talk about a lot of thing and about our brain. So I don't have that, I don't describe all of this brain thing. Okay, so you must read that book so you can know about all the parts of the brain and how creativity happen. He give many like she give many example about everyone and our ancient people who create many original things. So yeah, here is the quote from the book. The creative brain engages in making novel connections between different ideas. Association cortex is it's like links input from neuron areas or sensory areas plus memories, and it is like a crossroad where everything mixes up, like perception, memory, and abstract thought converges, that leads to original thinking. Let's talk about more about association cortex. So in creative process, in creative process, the brain begins by disorganizing and making links between shadowy forms of objects, symbols, or words. So remembered experience that have not previously been linked, the result is a completely new and original art. That can be a poem, that can be a symphony, and that can be a original art, or anything like that. So what is the from like the process that is beginning from the disorganizing. So whatever thing that we have right now, okay, whatever thing that you are doing work for to being creative on. If I give you an example of my article, okay, I have some a topic, and in that topic many people create many article on that topic, but I have to disorganize that thought from in my mind. Okay, I have to disorganize it, so I don't write same like that article, because my article should be my original and unique and creative. So first of all, we have to disorganize the previous thinking or concept that people already written and already say about the things. And when we think about that subject, we have some object, symbols, words, shadowy forms, and all about that article, and some remembered experience, because whatever I also write in my article, it is also from that I experience in my life. So I write in my article that I have experienced in my life. So that part also play a huge role, because you know your own concept of anything, your personal experience of your life, when you are adding in your art or in your thing, it like in its own, it being an original thing. So it comes as a original thing. But yeah, we will talk about more in the upcoming theories and all of that. So I want to tell you one more thing about association cortex. So if we see it in a lame language, it is like a mixing, where everything is mixing and a product is creating. Okay, it is like a association cortex. Like let's say that. Okay, so I see this like personally, like when I have to write about like my articles, I gain many views about that concept. Okay, like I will see many articles, I will research on it, and I will see some videos, YouTube videos on that thing. Okay, so many people say many perspective, and all of this thing, that when they mix, they somehow create a new thing. And that thing I saw in my article when I write my article. So yeah, association cortex has that power. Okay, so this is the thing that is mentioned in the creating brain book. No, so now let's talk about the Leonardo's brain book. Okay, like right now we are talking about the concept that is mentioned in both of this book about creativity. So in the last, we will gonna see what was our point, what was the thing that is useful for us. Okay, we will gonna see that also. But first, let's talk about the concepts of both of the books. So from the Leonardo's brain book, he mentioned a lot about left and right brain. So he said that Da Vinci, he write from the right hand also and from the left hand also, and he also backward writing. He write in backward writing. So Da Vinci used both of his brain in a very amazing way that his creation is very unique and very original. He say that in his book about Da Vinci's concept, and he say that um you know he saw a lot about left and right brain, but our left brain always see itself as I only. So that the our ego, our ego of a human, we say about, like, we think about ourselves and all of that thing from the left brain. It is the concept from our left brain, and our right brain is like here, like our right brain is like holistic thinking. It expands in thinking about a thing. And he mentioned about a lot about right brain, like how Da Vinci used his right brain on his creations and when he was painting and making an art or somehow. And he also mentions that there are many steps in creativity when creativity proceeds. So we will gonna talk about the perseparation. Okay. So he said that master a particular domain of knowledge, creative flashes come to those who have contemplated the problem for a long time. In the fields of observations, chances favor the prepared mind. It is a line, it is a quote from Louis Pasteur, I think so. Okay, he mentioned that in his book about pre-respiration. So he said that you should master a domain of knowledge to be creative on that thing. You should master it, you should know about everything about that concept and about that thing. So somehow the creative flashes will gonna come into your mind. Okay. And he talk about a lot about this thing about left and right brain, that I can't do it in this video, but yeah, we will gonna see a more. And the second is the second step is about incubation. Okay, so incubation, sometime when active phase of seeking a solution is over, the most mysterious aspect of creativity commences somehow, even though on the problem at some deep subterranean level. I was reading the notes like from that book, so you can understand it. The right brain continues to labor. That's why people left their problem and go on holiday, and when they come they get idea. So he talk about many scientists that they have done, like many people go on to the holiday by just left their work at the middle, because at that time the left brain is so active about to seeking a solution about that problem. And in that thing, that person don't want to be like that, and he was just irritated about the thing that I I don't know why the things was not coming into my mind about that problem. So he somehow go on the holiday, and when it come he get an idea. So he talk about that right brain gets active in that time. Okay. So he talk about that some at deep subterranean level the right brain continues to labor, that left brain somehow just quit that thing, and he goes on the holiday, the man. And but somehow at the deep level our right brain is very active about that thing and contemplate on that thing. So somehow when he get a break, he get an idea. Okay. So many times people say that when you are working towards a creative thing, and if you are writing a book, creating your thing, anything like that, you should take some rest, you should take some break from your work to come in some days and get an idea and just write about and back with your creative flow. So a lot of people talk about this thing that it is like people say get naps, to be and then when you wake up you will get some idea. So in that thing our right brain is very active at that time to and at a very deep level, and contemplate about that problem about that idea. So you should have that idea in back of your brain when you are creating a thing, and you should somehow get a break. Okay, whenever you think that you are facing some creative blocks and all of this thing. So yeah, that is the second step that he mention about creative process. The book of Leonardo's brain is like that hemispheric biassociation that is mentioned by Arthur Koestler. So he say that hemispheric biassociation must occur for creative manifest. So he say that for creativity to manifest itself, the right brain must free itself from deadening hand of inhibitory left brain and do its work in private. So like he said that hemispheric biassociation should happen, like disconnecting from the left brain from the right brain. So because our left brain is so rigid about the things that he wants a solution right now that he wants like this. Our left brain is like that, and our right brain is very free. It should be free to and it should have some freedom to create its own thing. That's why people say that many people's creative blocks get free when they are very very free and very calm and very peaceful. Then at that time they get some ideas. So yeah, and the same thing that we talk about the association cortex in the creating brain, the same thing it is mentioned on a Leonardo's brain book, so where he talk about the corpus callosum. Okay, don't think about that that I'm saying some science statements, all of this thing, but he say in his book that Da Vinci has a remote sensing perception about things, remote viewing. So he mentioned that he has the ability to remote viewing because Da Vinci create many maps of where he was living at the time of Italy, and where he lived for many kings. He draw many maps, and the maps was like a drone. So like the drone views, so when a drone views is in this screen, it is like a remote view. So that was a thing that is the authors say about Da Vinci, that he has the ability of remote sensing. And then he also say about corpus callosum. I have some notes about that. Corpus callosum is the largest single structure in human brain, containing over 200 million connecting neuron. It coordinates different feelings, desire, opinion, and sensory experience as of two hemisphere. So that entity called I can present a unified coherent response to outside world. So he also mentioned about corpus callosum, and so this both of the thing, like association cortex and corpus callosum, they both are very important in our creative process. So that was the thing that I read in Leonardo's brain book. And I should mention that you should read these two books, so you can have some creative and like creativity spark on your work. He mentioned that left hand person has large corpus callosum than right hand person, but Leonardo can write from both of them, that thing. And he also very interested on reading the musical notes, and he create many musics, and he use many musical instrument, and he has so much interest on all of this thing. So he can read the musical notes also. He can read it, that is left brain dominant thing, musical note reading. And backward writing, ambidextrous, they say it is a ambidextrous brain, means dominance of both hemisphere of brain. So when your both of the brain is in the process, it is in the process of doing things. And how you can combine the left brain like left brain and right brain is somehow from mind map, visual thinking. And sometime when you contemplate about the thing from your left brain, and at the same time you are drawing the mind map of that thing from your right brain. So you will have many ideas. You try it on your own, that when you are thinking about something, and you should start your using your right brain and create some mind map, visual thinking, and write about that concept very creatively. You will gonna know about how your both of the brain act. And obviously Da Vinci is great, and he write from both of his hand, that I can't do and somehow you can't do that. And many people who done who do this, and it is very good for your both hemisphere thing. So the same the next thing or next theory that we will gonna talk about is in the creating brain books. So Nancy mentioned that the author, in the Leonardo brain he was the Leonard, and in the creating brain she was the Nancy. So the C and he is just mixing up. So yeah. So Nancy talk about the thing that creativity leads to a product, somehow leads to a product. So somehow, like when I'm writing a article, and that article is my product. Okay. So he mentioned about P cube, person, process, and product. So when we are using our creativity on making anything, our art, our writing, whatever just resonate with you, take that. So she says about that originality, so that involves perceiving new relationships, ways of observing, ways of portraying things. She mentioned about all of this thing, like you should have all of this thing to be original on your product. And then she says that utility must broadly define, it's not always useful. Its utility resides primarily in its ability to evoke, resonate emotions in others, to inspire, create sense of awe. That is a process, that is happening. Like utility, that should be resonate with people, that should um, ability to evoke, resonate emotions with each other. So that's why that product will gonna be useful for everyone. So that is the process. So the person is very important first of all. Okay, that creating a thing, so that person is very very important. So and then a process come, where the utility is very important, that your thing should connect with the other people, with the emotion of other people. It should have some importance, all of this thing. And then comes the product. Okay, and that product, like creation of something, so then you get a product. So somehow you have all of this thing that we talk about till now is then now I'm going to sum up all of this thing. So you should be creative, and when you are creative, when you are making anything, creating anything, and you want that creation to be unique, to be original, you should have somehow sensitive to the things first of all, and second curiosity. And that is the thing that Leonardo also mentioned in his book about Da Vinci, that he was too curious. He was too curious about everything that is in his environment. So I also tell you that be very baby, somehow 7-year baby who is experiencing his environment. So somehow I also tell in my videos that don't take up everyone's beliefs, don't take just everyone point of view about the things. That when we saw a tree, when we saw anything like that is in our environment, we saw it about the beliefs, about the perception that is given to us. So somehow be very curious about all of the thing that is around you, and how you can be curious, like from when you go from curiosity to a sensitivity. So somehow you get many things when you are jump from one to another, curiosity to sensitivity and sensitivity to curiosity. So I must say to you that you should be very curious about the things that is in your environment. So when I'm creating an article or poem, I was very sensitive about the things. And I will give you an example. I write a article that is very trending about a box of life. So in that article I somehow create my house as my life. So every door has some specific thing. So you can read that article in my account. I will gonna mention it in my description. So somehow, how can I get that idea and how I write that article? Somehow be very curious and be very sensitive about it. I somehow see my home as my box of life. Okay, so somehow I get that idea. So be very creative about your environment, be very curious about your environment. Whenever you see a butterfly, whenever you see the environment around you, trees, houses, a man, a human, animals, like everything, have some your perception about the things, so you can be very original on your art, and be creative in your art. And yeah, third thing that should I mention about is relationship with the things. Your senses, your emotions when comes up, your words, ideas, feelings when comes up. And it is the thing that I got to know about when I'm creating. Sometimes I don't have any topic to write about my article, so somehow I got into my Instagram. I scroll the reels because it is very systemized. Like my Instagram account is very algorithm. I have my own algorithm, my social media algorithm, that is according to my interest. So I have that reels that is on that concept about creativity, about you know poems, philosophy, psychology, all of this thing. So when I'm scrolling that reel, I get many inspiration at that time. I get many inspiration, I see many concept, I see many ideas, like that. So I get an inspiration. Okay, I get an inspiration from that. And also I watch some advert art. And if you know about the advert art, it is a YouTube channel, it is an amazing YouTube channel. So whenever I listen that video, it literally spark my creativity, because whenever I want to creatively write my things, my poem or article, any of this thing, it really helped me. So the combination of thing that you get from your environment, that you have resources in your environment, when you combine all of this thing, you get an original thing. Because I somehow just practice it, because I somehow tried it, that's why I'm telling you that when you are getting some things that is around you, and from one thing, from second thing, from third thing, when in last, when you mix all of this thing, it create an original thing. So that is my experience that I got from the things that I write in my article. I somehow get ideas from many reels, from many videos, and from my environment when I'm walking around nature and all of this thing. So when I get some ideas, so somehow practice all of this thing. Be curious about your environment to be creative in your work, and just remember all of this concept theories about both of these books. And you should read both of this book to be creative, and just read it from your own experience, so you can have some your own concept. So yeah, this is all for this video. I will meet you in the next video. Bye.